Welcome to the Cast and Blast Grill and Chill podcast, the podcast all about hunting, fishing, hanging out, grilling out, and having a good time. Joined as always by my cousin Trevor. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the opening of hunting season. Finally, it's here. And, what's been going on the past couple weeks? The hunts he's been up to, the hunts I've been up to, and the hunts we did together. Trevor, well, you're the lucky one. You got to go hunt tonight. How'd it go?
Well, man, all I got to say is where the hell are the birds?
Man, I don't know.
They disappeared on me. They disappeared on me from opening weekend until now, which today is the 15th. So that was 2 weeks ago. We went out and we did 3 days? 3 days in a row. We kind of did at least one trip a day out to the property, if not two. But yeah, tonight I fired 2 shots, killed 1 bird. That's a sad night.
That is a sad night.
I mean, better than getting skunked, but I mean, I only shot 2 rounds. I probably saw a dozen birds and only 2 came into range. Missed 1. I hit some tail feathers on that one. I actually saw the feathers fall, but he kept flying strong. So, yeah, man, it was kind of sad. But as far as I don't know what pushed him out, man. We've had kind of that weather change right now that it was had a little cold front down here. Cold as in, get down into 60 something. But
well, yeah, I'm definitely not.
Yeah, now it's warm. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm definitely not complaining about that cold front. It made it real comfortable for early teal.
Yeah. So yeah, we went out the 1st of September, got out there to our usual spot, ended up killing 22, 25 birds, something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, we ended up doing that. Then, I mean, it was just a regular open weekend, aside from the fact that I have no idea why there was nobody out at the public lands.
Well, the only thing I can figure is, people were a little held up from Hurricane Harvey. Fuel was extremely hard to find.
Yeah.
And I mean,
also expensive.
Yeah, I don't know if you're still having fuel shortages up here, but like a couple of gas stations that I frequent have been out multiple times this week, and also multiple places have had, please limit, purchases to 20 gallons max. Fuel deliveries are slow.
We seem to be doing all right on quantity. Price was still up at, 250 something, 257, I think, yesterday. And it actually dropped down right here by my house to 249 today. I mean, it made a big decrease. So it's nice to see it falling back down. And luckily, I don't drive as much as I did at my last job. So, I'm only running through a tank a week, maybe, instead of, 3 tanks a week.
Yeah, that definitely helps. So, fill that Dodge up.
Yeah, man, for sure. Saving a lot of money on that side. But yeah, opening weekend was, I would say, moderate. It wasn't terrible. And it wasn't beyond my expectations. It was kind of what I thought it was going to be out there on the public lands, aside from just the amount of people that are usually out there. I mean, that was significantly less.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, usually when we're out there opening day, and especially that first Saturday, it's generally packed out there. And
yeah,
with the exception of me going out there opening morning when you were still working, I ran into one other guy out there that I hunted with for a little bit, and then I actually gave him one of my business cards and told him if he found the birds to give me a call and I'd come over there and hunt with him in the afternoon. But he never called me, so I guess he never found the birds. And I went out there and sat on that cut cornfield that afternoon that you met me at, and I mean, we wound up with a handful of birds out there, half dozen. 8 birds, 9 birds, something like that.
So I mean, it was all right, but like we said, it was kind of moderate. It wasn't terrible. And like today, I would classify definitely as a terrible night. There was just no birds out there. I don't know what happened in the 2 weeks. Maybe I'm in between groups. Maybe my spot wasn't on the spot, but I mean, I didn't even see birds out on the power lines driving in. I didn't see them out in all the ag fields that I was passing, hitting food. Nothing.
Yeah, the only thing I figure is that cold front. That was a pretty decent cold front. I mean, it dropped it into the 50s here. I mean, the high upper 50s. It was 50. It was 58. But I mean, after we had the 35 plus inches here in College Station, Navasota area, I haven't seen any birds, doves. I'm still seeing ducks. I'm still seeing geese. I'm seeing big groups of Canadas flying around.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're local birds, but I think they're getting cold enough and stuff where they're out getting a little brave, venturing around. I'm probably going to try and
Yeah.
secure maybe some permission on a piece of property that I keep seeing them fly into.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely back you on that. I was just up in Nashville, as you know, and it was cool to go outside at night, and it's hitting 50 degrees, and I think we hit 49 as the lowest temp when I was up there one night, and man, it was nice. We had a full moon, and just stepped outside to have a smoke real quick, and the geese migration was on. I mean, listening to just hundreds of Canadas just honking away up in the sky. That was pretty cool, man. So they're definitely headed south. Their migration is, well underway, as it usually is this time of year.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I can tell
So
you.
you went. Go ahead.
I was about to say I can tell you for a fact the teal are here.
Yeah. So you got to go out. What was that? Very opening day, correct? That you went
Yeah,
down to the coast.
yeah. Last Friday I locked the shop up at 5 o'clock, and I hit the door running. I already had my stuff packed and was ready to go. I went straight from there uh, down to the Lake Jackson area where our buddy lives, and met up with him. We sat around BS, moved the stuff out of my truck and moved it over to his truck, and loaded up the boat and got everything ready to go. Um, we went to bed about 10 o'clock and woke up about 12:30, because
Yeah.
with Hurricane Harvey they closed all the WMAs on the coast. They
Mm-hmm.
closed multiple counties to recreational boating of all kinds. So we
Yep.
didn't know what was going to happen if everybody that wanted to go hunt was going to go try and hunt in the vicinity we were going to go try and hunt, or what. Well, we wound up showing up there. There was one other boat at the ramp when we got there. Um, I'm fairly convinced it was probably a commercial crab fisherman that had already
Mm-hmm.
dropped his boat off and was out running his pots, or was out dropping pots, or it was somebody, maybe an oysterman with the kind of truck it was. It was an older 7.3 liter Power Stroke diesel, sitting down there, but it was obviously a very large flat bottom boat. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we went and hunted some salt marsh
I
down
mean, if
there.
you didn't see him, yeah, I mean,
Oh
if you didn't see him coming in, they could have been, gigging flounder or anything like
yeah,
that too. If you didn't,
yeah.
especially that early in the morning, if y'all are getting out on the water, it's like that could potentially be good gigging time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, it was very odd driving, to go hunting, and driving past a bar, at 1:30 in the morning, and that bar being packed. There wasn't
Yeah.
you couldn't have
Yeah.
put another car in that parking lot. You couldn't have crammed another person in that bar. That bar was hopping.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, that is weird sometimes. And it's like, if I, yeah, every time if I talk to my mom before I go hunting the night before, she's like, "Oh, what time are you leaving on, if I'm going duck hunting?" It's like, "Oh, 2:30, 3 o'clock. I got to beat all these people." And she's like, "Well, be careful because, that's what time the bars are all letting out. That's when all the crazies are on the road." I mean, she's not kidding, man. It definitely is, but yeah, it's just funny when you're driving down the road and you're thinking, man, there's a bunch of people coming home drunk right now, and I'm out
Yeah.
here like got my sleep in, and I'm about to start my day
Oh
here at
yeah.
2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning or earlier.
Oh yeah. It was hilarious when we pulled up at the boat ramp. There was a guy and a gal down there doing some fishing, and man, they were lit. After we pulled the boat up to the ramp and got our waders on, and we're ready to back in the boat.
Yeah,
It's pretty ridiculous when you actually have to wear it, when you actually want to wear a jacket for early teal. Like I wound up putting my wading jacket
yeah.
on.
I mean, half the time, if you're not at the coast, I mean, half the time you can get away with board short. Like I got some camo board shorts and a camo t-shirt. Half the time I got like a mesh, long sleeve that I'll wear too, just to cover up and kind of blend in. But if you're in a blind and you got a hat on, you got a camo t-shirt on, like half the time you can go in board shorts and swim to the to whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Feels better that way.
That was definitely my thinking. Was like I was prepared. Like the only reason I was going to wear my neoprene waders was just to keep the mosquitoes off of me, but they weren't even bad. But
Really,
yeah,
really, the mosquitoes weren't bad.
not they were not bad at all. I went and purchased a new thermocell because my old one didn't work anymore. It kind of got rained on a few times and it kind of stopped working. So I went ahead and picked up a new thermocell. I figured, if I
Nice.
don't use it for duck hunting, I can definitely use it for deer hunting because those things are a lifesaver. But so yeah, we did that. But yeah, it's still sitting in the cellophane in the box in the top of my blind bag, ready to go for the next time I get out. But yeah, so when we got down there was those two guys. There was that guy and that gal down there fishing. They caught a catfish, and he was
Yeah,
telling her, he's like, those need to be about 10 inches bigger. We get a whole stringer full of them. We eat good. So they
go for
were,
it, buddy.
oh yeah, man, they were having a good time. It wasn't a hardhead; it was a freshwater catfish because there was so much fresh water.
Oh, okay. He was
Yeah, it was
down
a,
in the marsh. Yeah,
yeah, he was,
yeah, man.
yeah, he was right there where all the bays are super, super fresh right now. Um,
Yeah,
I was looking on Texas Parks and Wildlife's fisheries Facebook today, and they were doing gillnet surveys down there in like in between Matagorda Bay and the Brazos River. They caught about a
yeah.
18-inch tarpon and a very large common carp in the same gillnet.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that'll tell you how
Yeah,
fresh that water is.
I'd say it's a little bit fresh, man. I'm kind of surprised to see that tarpon in there, but yeah, I mean that's cool. I guess tarpon do kind of hang out in some flats in like Florida and stuff. There's a little bit of fresh water mixed in, and down in there. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, the
Well,
smaller
shoot, man,
carp.
how are the birds flying?
Oh man, they were flying incredible. We had a two-man limit by 7:30,
Nice.
and I don't know what.
That's the way early teal down the coast should go.
Yeah, I don't know what time we were actually done limited, but at 7:30 is when we'd already picked up our birds and a few decoys and stuff. And I got back in and just happened to look down at my phone. I was like,
And you're like,
oh,
oh shoot, it's still 7:30 in the
it was
morning.
it was 7:28, and we'd already been picking up for a while. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was fun. We had groups of 30 to 50 birds working in on the spread. We picked a real good location with a good wind. Pushed up, like I said, pushed up in that salt marsh up against that sawgrass. Blinded the boat in real good. Um, those birds were all going somewhere. I really would. The same issue you into, you know, opening weekend down there when we were hunting doves, ran into down there. There weren't enough people hunting to push those birds around.
Yeah.
We had a lot of birds working somewhere. Don't know where they
Hmm.
were going. They were all headed, you know, south into the bay, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and my only thinking was with this all that rain is the bay was super duper fresh. It was real fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost, it was probably 90% fresh, 10% salt. It wouldn't surprise me with as much, water we had dumping down the Colorado and the Brazos and all the rivers on the coast. That whole anything that's connected to the ICW, was probably more fresh than
Yeah.
salt. So I mean, maybe the bay was fresh enough that those teal didn't mind going out there and racking up in the middle of the bay.
Yeah.
Maybe with all the you know WMAs being closed, they generally get shot up real quick, real early in the morning, and all those birds.
Stick to more marshy areas because they're hunkering down in this first safe place that they can get that they're not getting shot up. If every person and their brothers out there
Well, that's a
in duck season, if all the WMAs are open.
well, yeah, well, that's exactly it. With all the WMAs open, them birds can get, they're not going to hang out there. That's where they want to be because that's where,
Yeah, that's
that's
where
where.
that's their habitat
Well, yeah,
is
that's
a
the best
marsh type
habitat.
scenario.
Well, all those WMAs, they hold the best habitat.
Yeah.
There's lots of habitat improvement projects that go down in there to make sure. So I'm pretty sure by Sunday when we hunted again the next day, that's why we didn't see as many birds. We saw those same birds making that southward push into the bay. At near stratosphere levels, but not that high, but big enough that you'd be well. That's a group of 20. That's a group of 10. That's a
Yeah.
group of 50 plus.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could peep at them with the whistle. You could call at them with the teal call. You could hit that acrylic you know mallard. Um, they wouldn't even look at the spread.
Just not even. Not even looking around in
Not, they
turn.
were on a mission. They were going wherever they were going.
Huh.
The model,
Interesting.
but the model ducks are super thick down there.
Yeah.
I probably saw well over 100, 150 model ducks. That Saturday morning, we had a model duck come land in our spread, probably about 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe 4 o'clock in
Mm-hmm.
the morning. I mean, it was early. The moon was almost
Yeah.
full, um, and it came and landed, in the spread. And me and my buddy looked at each other. We're like, well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I was like, I don't know either. I was like, it may, start and be over quick, but
Yeah.
yeah, we were still seeing lots and lots of teal. Um, when we picked up the decoys, they were still trying to
Mm-hmm.
land us, and we probably had the best way to close out a limit ever. We wound up getting 5 ducks and 2 shots.
There you go. That's a good. That's a good ending. Yeah,
Uh,
man. That's a good way to
yeah,
close
they
that out.
yeah they worked. You know, we had our we had kind of like a crescent moon pattern with like a half
Mm-hmm.
dozen teal decoys, about 2 dozen decoys, and another half a dozen decoys. With landing
Mm-hmm.
gaps in the middle, with mojos out by that big 2 dozen group, and they
Mm-hmm.
worked in out of the bay into the marsh through a little cut through some grass, into this little clearing in the marsh. Worked in there perfect, landed. We stood up, yelled at them, jumped them up, and as they jumped, we fired 2 shots, and down went 5 birds. And I was like, I think that's our limit.
There you go. Yeah, man. That was my next question. Actually, was about the what kind of spread y'all were throwing and how many decoys and kind of a pattern and what that all looked like because it's kind of a fickle thing, kind of, and it's like, and especially in like waterfowl, extreme like waterfowl, people really getting to understand like or trying to decide how many and what type of decoys and either in early teal because it's like it's very specific, game you're going after. You're going after mainly blue wing, and and it's early season, so they're not in full color yet. They're not,
Yeah, they're all
you know,
lips.
and yeah, they're all lips. They're and they make early season decoys. Um, is that a factor? Is it not? If the bird's going to even recognize that, do they care about recognizing that? And the other thing I've heard is, don't throw as many decoys in early teal. That goes around sometimes. I don't know why. Man, there's so many questions around it, and it seems to be just like one of those things.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with our spread. Our spread was, like I said, probably all told 3 to 4 dozen blue wing and green wing teal. Just a mixture.
Hmm.
No early
Yeah.
season teal, just standard teal decoys. There was one pintail hen out there just because it got
Yeah.
mixed in the
I
bag.
mean,
It was just in the bag. It just
that looks like that. Yeah. I mean, close enough in color. So as long as it's not a Drake, I mean,
well, and then we
even if
had
it was, who knows? They probably wouldn't even cared.
no, I don't think so because we were running uh,
Yeah.
two baby Mojo Mallard Drakes, out there,
Oh, you gotta run the mallard. Yeah. 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 That's funny.
but yeah, but I mean, they were, trying to land on the Mojos as always, like teal like to do, and they were, you know, they wanted to land, primarily either right in the middle of that big raft, of the 2 to 3 dozen decoys.
Hmm.
If they were working straight in, if they worked in, off the left, they wanted to land in that first little, 10-yard gap, 15-yard gap we left in between that, half a dozen decoys and the big raft. Or if they worked off the right side, the
Hmm.
same thing, wanted to land in that 10 or 15, foot gap we left them. And I mean, the hunting
Yeah, and I mean,
was,
it's smart. It's smart to do it that way, just because if you don't know exactly the flight line of the time of day that birds are going to come in, if you haven't been patterning that stuff for a month or so, then you need landing zones on your right and left, and forward and back as well, because you just don't know where the birds are going to come in, or if it's just going to be from one way or all different ways.
yeah,
So it's nice to have
exactly.
so many different landing zones that they can kind of maneuver around.
Yeah, exactly. We were going in blind. So my buddy had hunted
Yeah.
that spot before and he scouted it before the hurricane, but we didn't have a clue as to what it was going to be like post hurricane. So, we just set
Would you
up
say
at.
it was pretty similar?
He said it was real good last year opening weekend, and I mean we obviously had a good day. We could have shot a limit Sunday too. We wound up with 9 birds Sunday between 3 guys. We lost 4 cripples, so if you actually you know add that up, that's a 2-man limit right there.
Yeah, it's a good
Plus
day in
plus
anybody's book.
plus a bird, and then I mean we were very, very, very forgiving to the birds. Um, we had multiple large groups work in for just whatever reason. None of us were shooting good. We had a couple groups of 10, 20 birds where they all came in, they all landed, they all made it out,
Yeah.
and I don't know what my malfunction was. Um, could be the fact that I'm shooting that new shotgun. Our buddy's other buddy who works for the construction company, he came down and he's shooting a new gun. He's shooting a Super Black Eagle 3. He had literally just got it. He wound up firing it out of our buddy's backyard, that first day, just seeing if it would cycle, random loads. Um,
Yeah.
but
So did he like it?
Yeah, he liked it a lot.
Yeah, the guy that came out with me today, he was actually shooting just the original Super Black Eagle.
The OG Super Black Eagle.
The OG Super Black Eagle.
Man, they're good guns. Inertia-driven guns.
He
man.
said he liked it.
They don't break.
Yeah.
The one thing that I really like about that new Versa Max I'm shooting is that recoil reduction. I could have.
And it felt like if you take a pillow and toss it from the other side of the room and it just landed on my shoulder.
Yeah, well,
that's what the gun felt like to me.
Yeah, did you actually shoot? Did I give you a 3-inch duck load to shoot when we were out there?
Oh no, I mean that's what I was saying. I was just shooting whatever you 6s or whatever you were shooting during.
Yeah, those 2 3/4 high brass 6s. So I mean that's got a little.
Yeah.
That's got a little more
but
pop.
Still, I mean, it's a lead dove load. I mean, it still felt like, man, throw a pillow across the room, land on my shoulder. I was like, oh
yeah, well
this is nice.
Yeah, well those 3-inch Kent teal steels I was shooting felt about
teal steels.
Yeah, they felt the exact same way. They were super duper. I mean, the first day I didn't even shoot a whole box of shells. I shot half a box of shells and limited out. So I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use that as a good representation. The second day. I finished up the rest of that box and wound up shooting a fair amount of just digging in my blind bag, grabbing out whatever. So I was shooting everything from 3-inch 2s. There was probably a few 3-inch double Bs that went. There's probably some 3-inch 4s that went. It was just trying to burn up, the last of the stuff last year.
Sometimes you got to purge, man.
Well, I definitely needed to purge. That's why I was doing that. And I was definitely doing a lot of shooting. I probably wound up shooting a box and a half of shells that day. But shooting that old 870 Super Mag, at the end of a day of shooting like that, like my shoulder would definitely, like the next day, I wouldn't, be all like, oh cool, let's go shoot around a sporting clays. I would have been, let's go shoot around a sporting clays. I don't care.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah.
It also looks like I'll be headed probably back down to the coast next weekend to go finish out early teal. I'm going to go maybe put my canoe in and go try one of the lakes around here, possibly on Sunday morning, or go hit a dove field and go see if there's any birds flying around here because I want to take the kids hunting.
I mean, if you're doing it to take the kids hunting, I would say go ahead. But if you were just looking to get on some birds, I would say don't worry about it unless you know that there's birds somewhere. I would say just hold your horses until we get another push of cold. And push some more birds down here because I mean we're holding absolutely 4 birds right now.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the go around. So I mean that's why I'm thinking I may just take the kids out to the dove field to go out to the dove field and, just hang out and shoot and do a little talking.
Yeah.
Or I may wake one of them up and Say, come on, we're gonna go get in a canoe and let's go be
Let's
miserable for a
go.
while.
Let's go adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well,
So what? So
that
what?
sounds like a good hunt, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a good hunt. It was a lot of fun. I've been itching for bird season all year long.
Yeah.
We're now officially 2 weeks away from deer season.
Yep.
Um,
As of today or
tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
tomorrow morning, we'll be 2 weeks exactly away from bow season open here in Central Texas. And yeah, man, this is our upcoming trip. Other than what you just mentioned, that's going to be the next time I'm going to be able to get out with my on-call schedule for work. So I got, man, I am geared up. I just had 3 things come in today. I got some Texas rigs in today. I got, the whole 3D scent killer system in today. Um, and you've bought the systems right before, like the multi-pack thing?
Yeah, the thing that has like the body wash, the laundry soap,
Yeah.
the deodorant, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so this one's including some chapstick and a like a smudge stick like compact thing that has like 4 different camo things in it, and like a little mirror that comes with that, and a bar of soap and a soap carrier, and like a bunch of refills and stuff like that. But yeah, man. So got that in. That was good. Got 2 more bags in. Just some run of the mill, mesh bags, just to put decoys and throw on the boat because I'm not carrying that anywhere. And then ordered me 6 arrows and a dozen broadheads to get me through the rest of bow season, hopefully. Unless I'm just slaying the deer, and then if I need more arrows, I'll buy more arrows.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna wind up hunting with my crossbow this year. That way, I can go ahead and get my bow, uh, get it all lined out next year. I'm just not gonna
Yeah, I
have.
mean,
I'm not gonna have time to get the adjustment cam I need to get it restrung and get into practice in time. So I'm
yeah, all
just
the stuff we talked about in that previous podcast, man.
yeah, I'm just not. So I'm just gonna use the crossbow. I'm already comfortable with it. It's pretty much like shooting a rifle. I'll go out there and I'll take me some 20, some 40, some 60, some 80-yard shots, and I'm going to call it good. And I'd
Yeah,
probably feel comfortable taking anything within 60 yards with that. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking opening day, where we're thinking about going, I'm thinking we have a damn good chance of at least one of us getting a deer out there.
yeah, because I mean, where we're gonna be going, that public lands does allow with archery, to shoot a doe. So that's as far as I'm concerned, that doubles our chances.
Yeah, exactly. Especially not having
Uh,
to get a 13-inch or wider buck. That makes those
yeah,
spikes and legal bucks, all legal game on the table, and that's just a matter of getting out there and finding one.
yeah. I mean, if you were the type of person that wants to take a yearling buck too, that makes it, as long as it's an antlerless deer, that puts that on the table as well. Try not to do that if you can tell the difference, because if you can tell the difference, you probably shouldn't do it. But and it's probably not an antlerless deer if you can tell from that far away.
Well, that may make. I mean, like I said, as long as he's a spike, he's legal. He's got to be seven
Yeah,
eighths.
yeah, yeah. Watch out for that fork.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. But yeah, that should hopefully be good. I just told you, I think today or yesterday, that I cooked up the last package of deer meat that I have, steak and backstrap and, actual cuts of meat wise. All I have left is some breakfast sausage and a little bit of wild hog. I think I have one ham left, a wild hog, and I got like one duck and a bunch of dove breast. So
yeah,
um, I'm running low. I need meat bad.
yeah. I made that crispy fried teal the other day, and that's definitely going to be another one of my go-tos. That was delicious. I probably won't do it the crispy fried way again. Um, it was definitely good with the panko and stuff, but it was just too much. I
We
think
just
it.
want to run through real quick on the ingredients of your marinade.
Yeah. It was orange juice, soy sauce, sriracha, garlic, um, a little bit of brown sugar, and just enough to kind of coat everything and let it soak overnight. And then took it
Mm-hmm.
and made a light egg wash with and seasoned it up with I also put black pepper and cayenne pepper in that marinade too, for a little more heat besides just that sriracha. Yeah, like I said, marinated it overnight. Took it, made a light egg wash, seasoned some flour with some basic just seasoning and a little bit of poultry seasoning. Battered it up. About 2 cups of panko to 1 cup of flour. Egg wash it, dredge it. Use canola oil. Got the oil up to about 300 degrees. About a minute and a half aside, if that even.
Oh,
Just till it.
you didn't deep fry, just like in a pan with like a like just enough to coat like half the teal breast, or what?
Yeah, yeah. I did it like a pan fry where
Just a pan fry, yeah.
yeah, I probably had about a half inch of oil
Okay,
in there.
perfect. Yeah.
Where you take it, you fry one side, take it, flip it, fry the other side.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times that's an easier way to make sure that you're getting both sides cooked better than a deep fry. Even though it is fully submerged, if you got a lot of stuff in there, man, it's hard to tell if you're cooking evenly or not, because the temperature of the oil is different, on this breast than it is this breast, the bottom and top, because all that, it's just changing the oil temp.
Yeah, well, precisely. And some of those birds I killed were yearling birds. Some of those birds were 2-year-old birds, 3-year-old birds. They were definitely
There you
bigger
go.
teal.
So you can definitely monitor each breast on its own as well, doing it that a pan fry instead of a deep fry.
Yeah, and I definitely like my duck rarer than most other people in my household. So
Yeah.
mine, just like as soon as it was golden, pulled it out, and
Hmm.
then like the rest of them, I tried to cook through enough to where they wouldn't be bloody, but still
Just
medium.
because that blood factor is what probably gets them, not the taste as much, but just like the blood factor. So what, like medium well at the most?
Yeah, definitely medium well to most. But the one thing about that marinade is like the one thing that duck is notorious for is that liver flavor. I
Yeah.
think I could have overcooked this duck to the nth degree and it still wouldn't have been livery. That duck was
I think
sweet.
the, I think the Yeah, I think the orange juice base, like I think that's a good match for like an overcooked duck taste. That kind of like swampy slash livery weirdness about it. That's the reason most people don't like duck, is because they overcooked it.
Yeah,
I think that's a good combatant for sure. If anybody's got a wife that you know, doesn't like blood, and was thinking twice about eating duck, make one of those, and yeah, let her try that.
yeah. The next time I get some teal, which will hopefully be here next weekend, is I'm gonna more than likely take them, do the same kind of marinade again,
Hmm.
but bacon wrap them and do kebabs.
That'd be good. That'd be good. I kind of passed it along to you, but what I was doing a lot with, when I was breasting birds and not doing them whole, was just a soy sauce, Worcestershire, garlic, and honey marinade, and then grilling them.
Yeah,
So that, I love that one, but I at least let that go 24 hours on marinade before you grill them.
yeah, and the that orange juice marinade was a 24-hour marinade as well. I made it the night before, and the great thing about that is it makes it cook so much faster than like when I got home from work. Generally I dread like frying fish or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's just a pain after work.
Yeah, shoot this. I came home, I was like, well, shoot, splash of milk, crack 2 eggs, scramble it up, flour and stuff in a
Dredge it and put it in the oil.
yep, shake it around in a Tupperware, put it in the oil. Done. I was like, well, shoot, I do this every night. And then I tasted it. I was like, oh yeah, I would definitely do this every
I would definitely, yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah. When I make something real good, I was like, dang, man, how long do you think it would take me to get sick of this? Probably never.
Yeah, and then for a dipping sauce, I took some of that Heinz Texas style bold barbecue.
Oh, that one we put on the pulled pork we made during duck
Yes,
season. Yeah.
yeah. I took that, a big healthy squirt of sriracha, about 6 dashes of
Hmm.
soy sauce, and like just a super small splash of that orange juice, and stirred
Hmm.
it all up and made a barbecue sauce, a dipping sauce for it, and that was
Yeah,
real good to dip it in.
that sounds good, man. And that reminded me, for some reason, I had this old boss that when he got like chicken wings or something, like buffalo wings, he would make them do half barbecue, half like hot buffalo, and he would call it something. I can't remember what it is now, but man, that stuff was good. Like I was requesting that at like wing shops for a while after that, but that might be a good thing to try too if you had like some spare, like some leftover buffalo sauce. You like, and you have
Yeah.
like you don't just want barbecue and you don't have like the other stuff. Like that'd probably be a good one because it's almost like the sriracha and the barbecue. It's kind of it's on the same level, but more vinegary maybe.
A little less vinegary because wing sauce is super vinegary, and that
Yeah,
sriracha
so
isn't.
that's yeah,
It's a
that's what I'm
straight
saying.
pepper
Is
sauce.
that wing would be the buffalo would be more vinegary.
Yeah,
So
I was almost thinking for that crispy duck recipe to actually like take it and put it in a steel bowl with some wing sauce. That'd probably be real good too, and actually make like
that
duck
would
wings.
probably be good. Yeah, some buffalo duck breast. Man, we
Yeah,
gotta try that now. I'm getting hungry now, man.
yeah. Well, I mean, um,
I just
unfortunately,
ate.
yeah. Unfortunately, we got like only 2 weeks left of early teal, and we got a couple weeks to wait till big duck. So
I can definitely make some. Hopefully, get a deer and make some something before then, man. I'm dying. My freezer's looking super scarce, and I'm kind of freaking out. I was
yeah,
hoping I'd see a rabbit today while I was dove hunting since it was so slow. Just something that I can put in the freezer, man. I'm getting hungry over here.
yeah. You need to go make a fish run or something.
I need to go do that or go squirrel hunt or I don't know, man. Anything.
I'll tell you what, the squirrels have been out and about. Since you bring up
Yeah.
squirrels, well, I've been driving around these past couple of days. I've seen, big old giant red squirrels, red fox squirrels, darting across the road left and right. And I don't typically see those out here, but I've
Yeah.
been
I
seeing
almost hit
lots
one
of
in the
them.
golf cart at work like yesterday.
I
he
don't,
he did a suicide run, man.
I don't think city squirrels count, but if you were to hit one with your golf cart, I would definitely expect you to go throw in the Yeti in the back of your truck and take it home and
Hey,
eat
man, if that's not the most rednecky thing,
it.
hit it with the golf cart and pick it up. Yeah. Hey, at least you know when it got killed,
Yeah,
right?
waste not, want not.
Yeah, right.
And you're pretty wanting right now for meat.
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty wanting right now for some meat. But I did have one question for you that was kind of just on my mind that I didn't feel like Googling. Do you remember why they made the rule on migratory game birds um, in the state of Texas that you can no longer hunt the last 30 minutes after sunset? I couldn't recall. Like I used to know this answer like last year. I don't recall why exactly now.
It's not sporting. It makes
It,
it too easy because if you're gonna go hunt a roost, when do they all come in? They all
yeah, yeah.
come in
No, I mean
that
that makes sense to me. But is it? Man, I swear there was something more to it than that. Like there, maybe I'm just wanting a better reason than that because
well, it makes it.
I saw more birds walking back to the truck today than I saw the entire LST time.
Yeah, well, I mean that's literally the reason why is because that's when you're going to see all the birds. You can catch them coming to roost. And the other thing is like in that light, could you tell the difference between a white wing and Inca?
That is the reason I remembered from last year was that was somebody's argument was can you identify that duck when it's in such low light? But the same can be argued on the other side of in the first 30 minutes, can you identify that bird? But I don't want them to get rid of it for that reason.
Well, yeah,
So
well,
I don't want to shout it too loud and say, "Oh yeah, I don't know if I can identify that unless it's 10 yards in front of me."
I mean
Um,
most mornings if you're going to come, if you're going to take that first shot at LST, that 30 minutes before sunrise, odds are that duck is landing in your spread. It's
and I and to another point, like if you can identify it as well enough for that's my first bird of the day, I don't have to worry about making sure it's a drake or something else like that. When on the backside of that, you could have hunted all day and you're trying to finish out a limit and you can only shoot one more hen or no more hens
well, here you
and
go.
or whatever.
Here's a prime example. You've been hunting, all day. You know, you hunt in the morning. You allowed 6 ducks, correct?
Yeah.
Your current limit on mallards is 5, correct?
Yes, this year.
Yeah, same as last year, and only 2 of those may be hens. So let's say your first 2 ducks of the morning come in. You can't tell hens from drakes because it's dark. bam, bam, you hammer you 2 hens. Now you're in
Yeah.
that last 30 minutes. You
Yeah, that's
shoot,
exactly what I was saying beforehand.
yeah,
Is like, yeah, on the morning, it makes sense for them to leave it if that was their reasoning, because any bird you shoot, as long as it's a legal bird and a legal,
legal
migratory
duck.
bird that you're going after, like, yeah, if you can identify it that far, that first bird or two would be okay.
Yeah, because
Uh,
with the exception of pintail this year,
exception of pintail,
you're
yeah,
only,
with the exception of pintail. But but yeah, I mean that would make a little more sense of why just in the evening and not in the morning as well.
and
If they're
it's
worried about some more like conservation effort, let's make sure that we're identifying birds.
yeah,
Um,
and the other reason is it's only getting brighter from that moment forward. It's only getting better visibility from
yeah, but
sunset.
how many times have the first 2 minutes of LST been the best part of the hunt? A lot.
Well, yeah, I mean when you have 30 teals swimming around in your decoys, I mean,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, how many times has that happened? And that's the lowest light you're going to get on that side of the spectrum as well. But yeah, I think it could be with a limit. Trying to reach that. You were hunting the morning. You're now limited on X bird,
yeah, you can't.
and now you have to make sure you're identifying
You've already
what
got
bird
your
you're
two.
shooting.
You've already got your two redhead. You can't shoot
Or
another redhead.
yeah,
You
exactly, or something like that. So that might justify why it's that. That might be a cool question for game warden if I just got to chatting with one, here in duck season or something like that. See if they got any other opinions or reasoning behind.
I know the last time I asked one, he's like, it's just not sporting. It's too easy, is what he told me. But between that and the fact that it makes it harder to identify your target, which makes sense. And like you said, in the morning, well, your smallest limit is one on pintail, was two last year. Has been two for a bunch of years. You got two redheads you can kill. You can kill three wood ducks, maybe four this year. I don't know. I
No,
haven't
no,
looked.
no. It's still three, I think, this year.
It's still three wood
I'm
ducks.
I'm pretty positive it's still three wood ducks, because they went up from last year. Last year was three, but the year before was two wood ducks. They had increased by one, I think.
Yeah, but another prime example of that is like our two one bird limits, mottle ducks and pintails.
Yeah.
You know, you
And I
know
mean, as long as you're careful enough to say that first bird, I can shoot whatever's a legal bird that I can kill.
if
Don't
it's
kill
a
a cormorant.
if it's
You're
a
not.
duck, I can kill it.
Yeah, if it's a real duck, I can kill it. Basically, that second bird, then you're a little more conscious, and it's getting lighter, like you stated. So by the second bird, then it's a little lighter, a little lighter, a little lighter, and going forward, and hopefully you're more able to, because 15 minutes before sunrise, I can ID a bird decent.
Easy.
Yeah. Like, especially if I'm positioned in the sun right and it's not just silhouetted up against, light,
Yeah.
which nobody wants to look into the sun while they're hunting. So
No, you want the sun at your back and the wind in your face.
that's right. That's the thing to live by. Well, cool, man. Let's wrap this up. I'm gonna get some shut eye before I gotta go and do something early in the morning. So
Definitely. Well, you have fun doing what you got to do in the morning. Until then, everyone, we will talk to you again in another week or two. Oh, by the way, stay tuned. This episode and all future episodes should be coming out on iTunes. We got set up with our syndication stuff uh, over this week, and we'll be getting it all filled out and everything going for that. So until then, go give us a like on Facebook, Instagram, um, join our Facebook group, and hit us up. Got any questions? We got answers for you. Y'all have a good one.
later.